There are crimes that happen in the shadows, and there are crimes that happen in broad daylight. The robbery of a gas station is loud, it is messy, it makes the evening news. But the robbery of a nation, the robbery of a currency, that happens in silence. It happens in the footnotes of a PDF file uploaded to a server at 3 p.m. on a Friday afternoon. Yesterday, the CME Group, the operator of the Comex, the primary pricing mechanism for silver in the Western world, published their daily warehouse stock report. It is a boring document. It is rows of numbers. It is meant to be ignored. But if you looked at line 45, under the column marked withdrawals, you saw something that shouldn't physically be possible. You saw a number that represents a theft so large it defies the imagination. 33 million ounces. Gone. In a single reporting cycle, 33 million ounces of silver were removed from the eligible category of the Comex vaults. Let me put that number in perspective for you. That is 1,000 metric tons of silver. That is not a pallet. That is not a truck. That is a fleet. That is 500 armored semi-trucks, lined up bumper to bumper, stretching for 5 miles, driving out of New York City in the middle of the night. And yet, the price of silver didn't move. The news didn't report it. The regulators didn't blink. The financial world is pretending that a mountain of strategic metal didn't just vanish into thin air. Why? Because if they acknowledge where that silver went, they have to acknowledge the lie that has held the entire market together for 40 years. They have to acknowledge that the safety net, the eligible stockpile that they told you was there to save the market, is not a safety net at all. It is a mirage, and the mirage just evaporated. To understand the magnitude of this crime, you have to understand the language of the lie. You have to understand the difference between registered and eligible. These are the two buckets that make up the Comex inventory. They want you to think they are the same. They combine them in the headline number. They say, look, we have 250 million ounces of silver in the vault. The market is flush. But they are lying by omission. Registered silver is the silver that matters. This is the metal that has a warrant attached to it. It is available for delivery. It is the silver that is actually for sale at the current price. If you stand for delivery on a futures contract, this is the pile they draw from. Eligible silver is different. Eligible silver is silver that sits in the Comex vault, meets the purity standards, but, and this is the critical part, it is not for sale. It belongs to someone else. It belongs to a private wealth fund. It belongs to a tech company. It belongs to a bank holding it for a client. For years, the bullion banks have played a psychological trick on you. They point to the eligible pile and say, don't worry about the shortage. If the registered pile runs low, we can just convince the eligible owners to sell. It's a backup generator. That is the thesis of the bear market. That is the thesis of the price suppression. There is plenty of silver, it's just in the wrong pile. But yesterday, the backup generator didn't just fail to turn on, it was stolen. When 33 million ounces leaves the eligible category in one day, it sends a message that is louder than any press release. It says that the owners of that metal, the real owners, the whales, are taking possession. They are not converting it to registered to sell it to you. They are taking it out of the system entirely. They are putting it on a boat. They are putting it in a private vault where the Comex can't touch it. They are removing it from the casino because they know the casino is about to burn down. Now, let's play detective. Where did 33 million ounces go? You cannot hide 1,000 tons of metal. Logistics leaves a footprint. Our analysis suggests that this was not a transfer to another Comex depository. If it was, it would show up as an adjustment. This was a withdrawal. That means it left the loop. We believe the silver is heading to one of two places, and both options are catastrophic for the Western pricing model. Option one, it is heading to industry. We know that the solar sector and the AI semiconductor sector are in a panic. The data shows persistent deficits. We are burning through silver faster than we can mine it. A major industrial player, like a Tesla or a Samsung, may have realized that the just-in-time delivery model is dead. They looked at their production targets for 2026, looked at the empty registered vaults, and decided to secure a strategic reserve. They didn't buy a contract. They bought the warehouse. Option two, it is heading to the east. This is the darker scenario. We have seen massive inflows into the London vaults recently, only to see them flow right back out to Asia. The arbitrage window is open. Silver in Shanghai is trading at a premium. The eligible holders, smart money, family offices, see the arbitrage. They know that a bar of silver in New York is worth $67, but a bar of silver in Shanghai is worth $72. They are draining the West to feed the East. But here's the twist. Here's the part that J.P. Morgan hopes you don't figure out. What if the 33 million ounces was never really eligible in the first place? We have to talk about rehypothecation. This is a fancy banker word for fraud. It means selling the same asset to multiple people. In the fractional reserve bullion system, it is an open secret that the eligible pile is used as a buffer for the unallocated accounts. You deposit $100,000 with a bank for silver exposure. The bank doesn't go buy silver, they just look at the big pile of eligible metal in their vault, metal that belongs to someone else, and they say, yeah, we're good. If this guy asks for his silver, we have some in the back. They use the existence of someone else's property to underwrite your paper bet. But what happens when the real owner shows up? What happens when the billionaire who actually owns the title to that eligible silver says, I want my metal and I want it now? The bank panics. They have to release the metal. The inventory drops. And suddenly, all those unallocated accounts, all those people who thought they were backed by the vault, are backed by nothing. They are backed by air. The removal of this 33 million ounces strips away the camouflage. It reveals the registered inventory for what it is, the only silver left. And what is the state of the registered inventory? It is critical. We are looking at numbers below 30 million ounces. That is less than 1 ounce for every 10 paper contracts trading on the exchange. The leverage ratio is blowing out. The stress is visible. We are seeing backwardation. This is a technical term, but you need to know it. Normally, silver for delivery next month is more expensive than silver for delivery today because you have to pay for storage. That is a healthy market. Right now, the market is inverted. Silver for delivery today is more expensive than silver next month. Why? Because nobody wants to wait. Nobody trusts that the silver will be there next month. They want it now. The curve is screaming shortage, and yet the price on your screen is $67. Why? Because the price is set by the paper contracts, not the physical metal. But the 33 million ounce withdrawal is the physical market breaking the paper market's jaw. JP Morgan is trapped. We know they have stockpiled silver in the past, the famous 169 million ounce hoard. For years, they used that hoard to slam the price whenever it got too high. They would dump metal into the registered category, crush the rally, and then buy it back cheaper. But they can't do that anymore. Why? Because they are losing the physical war. If they dump their hoard now, the Chinese will just buy it and ship it out. JP Morgan is running out of ammo. They are being forced to deliver metal they desperately want to keep. The game has changed. The eligible shield is gone. So, what does this mean for you? It means we are entering the force majeure window. When a vault runs this low, when the backup eligible silver flees the scene, the exchange has very few options left. They cannot print silver. They cannot mine it overnight. Their only option is to change the rules. We have already seen the quiet updates to the rulebooks. They are preparing for cash settlement. This is the moment where you ask for your silver and they say, we are sorry. Due to market conditions, we cannot deliver the metal. Here's a check for the dollar amount. But here's the trap. The check will be for the official price, 67. But the real price, the price of the physical bar you wanted, will be 100 or 150 or not available. They will pay you in depreciating currency while they keep the appreciating asset. That is the end game. That is why the 33 million ounces left. The smart money is front-running the default. They are getting their physical out of the system before the doors lock. If you have an unallocated account, if you have an ETF that is not fully allocated, if you have a pool account, you're standing on the train tracks and the train is coming. The 33 million ounce signal is the whistle blowing. Do not be distracted by the daily price fluctuation. They might smash the price down tomorrow. They might use paper leverage to paint the chart red. They want you to panic. They want you to sell. Why? Because they need your silver. They need to refill the hole that the 33 million ounces left behind. Do not give it to them. The vaults are draining. The flows are one way. The west is bleeding silver and the east is clotting it. We are watching the slow motion collapse of a 40-year confidence trick. The confidence is evaporating with the inventory. Check your safe. Check your vault. If you can hold it, you own it. If you can't, you're just a creditor to a bankrupt casino. The 33 million ounces are gone. They aren't coming back. The question is, will you be left holding the empty bag or will you be holding the metal? Tick tock. The vault door is closing.